In emotional, historic and chaotic scenes last night in the Victorian Parliament's upper house, Australia's second largest state by population became, by law, a divided state, a place where your skin colour, your DNA, gives you an advantage over non-indigenous Victorians. A treaty bill passed the Victorian Parliament where the 10-year-old Labor government has a lower house majority and, when you combine their numbers in the upper house with those of the Greens and a mixed match of independents, a clear advantage so they could push this through. These were the scenes when that bill passed last night. Well, the Premier, Jacinda Allen, she was quick to hit her Twitter or X account with this. Last night, this is her words, Victoria made history, the first state in the nation to pass a treaty with First Peoples built on truth, on respect, on trust. So let's see how long this kumbaya moment is actually going to last. This treaty is bad news. And late today, a Herald Sun poll was running at 94% of Victorians saying they disagree with this treaty. Yes, this is what the state's Environment Minister had to say on the level of support for the treaty.
Do you believe the majority of Victorians support the treaty?
I think the majority of Victorians support people having better decision-making abilities for their own lives. That's what this is about. You give people decisions over their own lives, you get better outcomes. That is exactly what treaty is about.
Steve, that wasn't the question and you didn't answer it. Look, this is a treaty for, according to the 2021 census, to accommodate 1% of the population. That's around 66,000 people only in a state of 7 million. Its vocal supporters, including, of course, the state's hard-left Premier Jacinda Allen, claim this creation of an Indigenous council will improve outcomes in justice, in health, in education and cultural recognition. Victoria already has a separate court system for Indigenous Victorians, the Koori Court, and we learned just this week at least one major hospital in its emergency department pushed patients identifying as Aboriginal up the queue. So you have to ask, how far are we going to go here in dividing Victorian against Victorian? This Indigenous council called Gelangwal will, as of the governor signing this bill into law, oversight all state government departments, every one of them, and agencies, and it will embed truth-telling and a new curriculum into schools, everything from prep to year 10. But wait, there's more. This body, Gelangwal, will be elected only by Indigenous Victorians, no one else. But it will have extraordinary powers, including the right to demand government departments consult on programs and policies affecting Indigenous people. Why? Well, as has become very clear very quickly, all Victorians now are not equal. Gone is the concept that every 4 years you have a state election. MPs are voted in or out. The party that wins a majority governs the state. Now they will govern at the behest of a bunch of people voted in by less than 60,000 other people. How can we agree to that? The government says they won the last 2 state elections with treaty as a policy. That ignores the voice result, I might point out, and ignores the fact that treaty was not even, I wouldn't have thought, in the top 10 policies people voted on. People still don't understand it. This council will also establish a new naming authority for geographical features. Get set for that. The treaty bill, by the way, passed with the support of the Greens, the Legalised Cannabis Party and Animal Justice. Oh, and just by the by, the Allen Labor government that is so determined to lift up the voices of Indigenous Victorians has just one Indigenous Member of Parliament, Sheena Watt. I guess factional wheeling and dealing doesn't extend to selecting MPs. I'll talk to Victorian Shadow Police Minister David Southwick in a sec, but the opposition has a clear policy on this. They will, if they win the next election in November next year, repeal the Treaty Act within 100 days.